Hello, online crew. How are you? Let's talk today about control, taking back your control so you can stop wasting your time on social media and being back in the driver's seat and getting what you want out of life. Okay, this is a really important conversation. So I hope you're tuning in to sort of, well, if you saw the headline, really that you're somebody that wants to take control back and be in the driver's seat of your life so you can get what you want out of your business and out of your life. That's what we're going to talk about today. So welcome to the live stream. We're here on Instagram over up there and here on Facebook and my group and YouTube. And I just want to say firstly, thank you so much to everybody that's reached out to me in the last week. Some of you may know that I've been struggling with coming down with COVID since coming back from overseas, and I'm feeling so much stronger this week. Those of you that also saw my post on my personal profile regarding my skin, it has healed incredibly in the last 3 days. Particularly if you saw my photos from my personal profile, I still have a little bit of redness left, but makeup is a wonderful thing. So I just wanted to say thank you so much to those of you that are knowing, that have known what's been going on with me with COVID and my skin and the battle that I've had since I've returned back from America. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. Now, back on my normal regular schedule, my first video of the week, this one, is something to do with personal growth and personal development, something to help you think about things and really get control of your week at the beginning of the week so you can achieve what you want to achieve. So I'm back on my regular live schedule, and that is exactly that today too. So stay with me because this is an important discussion. If you are somebody that is building a business on social media, you want to leverage the internet and truly use like attraction marketing strategies and the power of social media to help you grow your business, there's a lot of things that come to play with that are going to help you be successful, because social media can be, if you allow it, exhausting. Can you relate? Do some of you sometimes feel, I've had enough of social media, I don't want to show up on social media? You just feel that it's all encompassing and all exhausting and that you just sort of can't cope with it. If that's you, then this conversation is really for you today, particularly. Okay, so listen up. If you are joining me live, please say hello. I'd love to know who's here. We've got Tim. Hello, Tim. Great to see you on. We've got Beth. Hi, Beth. How are you? Have you recovered from the grandkids? Dean, preach. Good to see you here, Dean, and anybody that's watching there. Hi, Kathy, over there on Instagram. Please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. This is an important discussion today. Okay. Firstly, hang on. Before I get onto that, a couple of things. Those of you that have joined my branding course, which has started this week, congratulations. We've got quite a big group. We've got our first live Zoom call tomorrow, so don't miss that. But congratulations to everybody that's joining the round of my branding course this month in August. We are going to make some magic happen together with developing your personal brand. So just remember, the first live Zoom call is tomorrow. Okay. Those of you in my coaching community, I'm talking this week, the exclusive training that I've got for you guys this week is about storytelling on social media so you can create better content and create better connection and engagement. Really important topic this week for those of you in the coaching community, so don't miss your exclusive training this week. Okay. So back on topic. You can't control what's out there. You can't control headlines. You can't control other people. You can't control social media. You can't control what comes at you from, what you absorb on, social media. Like, you can't control what happens out there. but you have more control than you think or probably execute up here. Okay. Really important for you to realize that you actually have more control than what you think you do. And no, you can't control what happens out there, but you can absolutely control your headspace, correct? You can control the way you think. You can control the things that you do. You can control the things that you absorb. You can. Okay. Some of you think you can't, but you can. So, no, you can't control other people. You can't control life out there, but you can absolutely control the way you think, the way you move, the way you act, the way you run your business, the things that you do every day. You can control that. Okay, really important to remember. But there's two things to remember, or two ways that you can act on social media. So if you want to build your business successfully through social media, there's two types of people. There's one that's passive with social media, and there's one that's really active with social media. 99% of people are passive. They spend way too much time absorbing on social media. You open your phone, you get lost in the scroll. You open your phone, or you go looking at something and you end up comparing. Those that are passive to social media end up exhausted by social media because you end up anxious, depressed, comparing, judging, feeling like you're not doing enough because you're looking at what everybody else is doing and what everybody else is achieving, and you are wishing that you had the same kind of results. Being passive on social media is absolutely exhausting. But 99% of people that are building on social media, that's what they're doing. They're passive to social media, and you've lost control of your time. Believe it or not, you're not a victim to social media, but most people feel that they are. So if you're that person that's like, I don't have like balance in my life, I need to stop looking at social media, I need to, to step away from social media, you're not actually in control of your social media because you're letting it run away with your mind. You're letting it exhaust you. You're very passive to social media. You're not in control of how you're absorbing social media. I'm not meaning to offend anybody. I look in the mirror. I absolutely look in the mirror when I say this to you because I get exhausted by social media. I look at a lot of people. I look at a lot of peers. I look at a lot of colleagues. I look at what they're doing on social media. I compare. I think I'm not doing enough. I'm not showing up enough. I'm not doing all the things that I know I need to do. Like I'm literally looking in the mirror when I have this conversation with you because I do recognize when I'm passive to social media and when I'm in control. When I'm in control of social media, I'm not looking that much at what everyone else is doing because I'm in my own lane doing my own thing, building my own business, sure of what I'm doing, what I'm building, what message I'm putting out there, my brand, what I want people to know about me, what I want people to see that I'm doing, the things that I want to put out and offer to social media that I can help them with. Are you following along? So when you are in control of that, you're not looking sideways. You're not looking at what everyone else is doing. You're not judging. You're not getting down. You're not getting affected emotionally by what other people are doing on social media because you're in control of what you're doing and you already know where you're going, even though you're not there yet. Are you hearing me? You're not a victim to social media. You're allowing it to control you a little bit more than you should. Okay, so you need to take your control back. You need to be very guarded with your time and how you spend it on social media. When you recognize that you are scrolling aimlessly and looking too much at what other people are doing, yes, you can look, listen, and learn, But you've got to be very objective with that. You can't let it stress you out. If you look, listen, and learn and let it stress you out or get judgmental or get down on yourself or depressed on yourself that you're not doing enough or you're not sending the right message or you're not doing this and you're not doing that, and it just sends you in a spin, you're not in control of your social media. You're not in control of your mind. You are the only one that can control your thoughts. You know how this works. Your thoughts control your actions control your results. So if you're not in control of the thoughts and what you give attention to and not to, then you're not in control of the actions that you need to take. Am I making sense? Is this hitting home for anybody? Just checking in. Dean, thanks, Helen. This is important. Also, anybody else? Kathy, you nailed it. Good. So some of you are hearing me. Okay. But I was listening to a discussion. Mel Robbins was talking about this recently as well. And I wrote down some of the things that she said about this. The average, and most stats come from Americans, so sorry guys, but these stats are coming from a study from you guys. The average amount of time that Americans watch TV per week is 34 hours. Do you think that somebody that watches 34 hours of television a week is in control of their time? That person isn't in control of their time. Okay. I was thinking on the weekend, like some of you might be aware, like for me personally, what happened on the weekend, I had COVID, so I couldn't go out. I wasn't going to subject my germs to anybody else, but we had the boys' football on, which I had to miss. I couldn't go. Then Zach was riding motorbikes, which is about an hour and a half away. I couldn't go. Our youngest son, Ollie, was staying with friends most of the weekend. So I was home alone most of the time this weekend, just recovering, looking after my skin, sleeping, resting, working, all the rest of it. Most people would probably, so I think I'm a little bit unusual in some ways, most people would have the TV on probably a lot. I reckon I turned the TV on 1 hour, and here's what that 1 hour was for, Saturday night. I spent all day Saturday and Saturday night working, catching up, because I've been away for 3 weeks. There's a lot to catch up on and a lot to organise. I got to 1 o'clock, no, it was 12:30 a.m. Saturday night, and it's like, I need to switch off my brain. I need to get to sleep. I've worked long enough. I need to rest. So I deliberately turned on the TV at 12:30 a.m. And I will admit this publicly. I watched an hour of the Kardashians. I did that deliberately to watch something completely trashy to switch off my brain so I could sleep. That was the only hours television that I watched pretty much all weekend by myself. I'm very guarded of my time and what I spend my time doing. So this is how you want to think of your time, and taking control is being really, really protective of the time and not wasting it on social media. You're not a victim to social media. If you allow social media to consume you, that you get exhausted by it, you're not in control of it, because you're not utilizing your time on it wisely. You're not going to social media with the right eyes to go, okay, I want to learn from this person, or I want to watch that video, or they're doing a training on this. Yet this is time worth my while, rather than sort of aimlessly getting lost in it, that you get judgmental, you get upset, you feel like you're not doing enough, you feel anxious. Like, do you know what I mean by being in control? Okay, so yeah, I'm sure a lot of people haven't watched 34 hours, but that's the statistic. The average American is watching 34 hours of television a week. Not to sort of pick on the Americans, but this study also. Let me share this with you. Mel Robbins said this latest study that came out: people who use social media passively and browse content mainly to absorb content from other people are more likely to experience anxiety, depression, stress, and jealousy. Okay? The same study found if you're proactive on social media, meaning you create and share your own content, you're more of a creator than a consumer. Does that make sense? Like you're actually that's how what you're doing on social media. You're more about creating content than consuming content from other people. It is shown to have a positive impact on their frame of mind and obviously the flow and effect for your business. So when you're more of a consumer of content, a creator of content rather than a consumer of content, it's said to have a more positive effect on the person and therefore their business. So it might just be an opportunity for you if you want to take more control back. Is are you more of a consumer on social media or are you more of a creator? So if you kind of map out your time, if you know you're spending more time consuming rather than creating, I would be trying to flip that. I would be snoozing people. You know how you can snooze on social media? I would be snoozing people that you know distract you or to put you into a spin of judgment or a spin of, I'm not doing as much as them or they're getting more success than I am. Like that could, those kind of triggers. And I would be consuming content from people that inspires you to create better content, like you're actually learning from or messages. And something that Mel was talking about was when she decided to flip that switch between like a consumer to a creator, one of the people that she followed religiously was Gary Vee. Do you know who Gary Vee is? Gary Vee is a serial machine when it comes to creating content on social media, but he did it differently. He just shows up. If you don't know Gary Vaynerchuk, do you know? Just put down yes, I know, or no, I don't know. Like I'm intrigued if you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, but he probably started the trend years ago of more reality social media, where he's got people following him and he's just talking into a camera and just sharing more of his day to day life, which is what inspired Mel. Like a lot of you have watched Mel Robbins, she just gets up and talks and shares a message. It's not always about teaching. It's not always crafted. Well, there's a lot of teaching behind it, but it's not always crafted content. It's more reality TV show, like sharing your thoughts and things rather than sort of turning up and being really preachy. That's why she shifted the type of content she was sharing on social media. So if you can take a message from that at all, it's about, I guess, you got to let some walls down and be willing to share the good, bad, the ugly. It's kind of blew me away, my post on my personal profile a number of days ago where I really didn't want to share about my skin and my warning around steroid-based medications and what it does to your skin, thinning your skin long term. Like just go and see my last personal profile post if you don't know what I'm talking about. I really didn't want to share that. It was my VIP students last week that I was talking to, and I was kind of saying, I really want to share this because there's a message behind this regarding the dangers of cortisone-based, steroid-based medications, but I'm a little bit scared too because I know my face is going to look awful. And they encouraged me to do that. I shared it in my stories and I had a lot of conversations and I thought, I really should probably share this on my personal profile. Go and have a look at the engagement and the amount of comments that I've had on my personal profile from that. Now, I almost didn't share that just for fear of what I looked like, what my face looked like. But the warning and the message is much bigger than the fear of what I looked like. So where are your fears around what you look like or what you're doing or what you're not successful at yet? Like when you're more vulnerable and you just share for the sake of sharing with your business and your personal life, etc., you actually get more human connections because people relate to you. So use social media in a way to inspire people to share, to be authentic, to share genuine message, just to know what you're about and what you want to help people with about, and stop consuming it in a way that triggers judgment and jealousy and I'm not good enough and I'm not perfect enough, and share more authentically without the thought process of I don't look good enough, I don't know what my message is, is it good enough? Like how many of you are overthinkers when it comes to social media? Like you kind of got to get Spit it out, Helen. You've got to let go of that kind of perfection. And myself included. I look in the mirror when I say this to you. Like I'm not perfect by any means. But are you being proactive with your time in social media, or are you actually consuming more of it that it actually stresses you out? Like, take a check in that and take your control back. So start thinking about, okay, what could I possibly do to take my control back? What can I do more of that's going to be better for me and my business? Be very guarded with your time and how you spend it on social media. So be more of a creator rather than a consumer. That would be number one. And then to take your control back, every day you should have a goal to be a better version of yourself. So be proud of yourself every day. So what does that mean? Being proud of myself every day would be being proud of how I'm showing up for myself, being proud of how I show up for my health, being proud of how I treat myself, food included, what I put in my mouth, like being proud of how I treat myself, being proud of looking after myself, being proud of being guarded with my time, being proud of the content that I'm creating, being proud of being in tune with what I need to do for me and my business, rather than spending aimlessly minutes, hours, multiple hours consuming other people's content, comparing myself to it. There are so many things that you can do to take your control back. Do you need to get up 30 minutes earlier every day to do something for you? Do you need to incorporate journaling? Do you need to incorporate reading? Do you need to incorporate more of a plan? Do you need to pull your finger out and stop letting life distract you and actually work out what it is that you need to do for your business? Do you need to be more laser focused in how to get the next customer or how to get the next teammate, whether you're there or not, whether you're successful there or not? Just knowing to your core what your brand is, what content you want to put out there, what you want to help people with, and just going and doing it. Take your control back. Be proud of yourself every day with how you're showing up for yourself and others. And don't let life, again, you can't control what's happening out there, but you can absolutely control what's happening here. And what's happening here will dictate the actions that you take every day. And, I'm guaranteed 99% of people on social media are not in control. They're not proactive, they're passive. So if you know that you're not proactive enough and you're probably more passive than you are proactive, take small steps to flip that switch. Take your control back. You can't get to where you want to go when you are totally distracted, overthinking, procrastinating, judging, all those things that you probably do. They're not going to get you to where you want to go. People that are successful and continue to be successful, they already act as if they're successful even when they're not. Yeah. They just know where they're going. They know what they're working towards, and they don't let little things get in their way. Okay? What are your thoughts around this? Are you hearing me? Yep, Beth knows who he is. Don't know. And I'm not saying you need to go and follow Gary V, so you would be responding to there. He's a bit of a machine when it comes to content. The point is just being more authentic and showing up, being the real you, because you are your biggest asset. You being like somebody else is not your biggest asset. You being you is your biggest asset. And there's enough people on social media for you to have your own following, to have your own fans, to have your own influence over. Everybody gravitates to somebody. And there's people waiting for you to show up as you, not you showing up like somebody else that you admire, you showing up as you. Stop holding yourself back. And you don't need to be a slave to social media. If you feel like a slave to social media, you're just consuming too much social media. You're not being proactive on social media. You're not learning to work smarter and not harder. You're not batch recording content. You're not clear on your brand and what content you want to put out there. When you're clear on your brand, what you want to say, how you want to say it, you'll just go and do it. And when you back yourself and you believe that you can be successful, you won't be judgmental or disheartened or affected by what everyone else is doing, because you're just doing your thing and you're going to back yourself. And if you know that you can be successful, that's half the battle. If you don't, then you've got to do some more personal development work first. Okay? Because if you don't back yourself, who else is going to? Who's going to listen to you on social media if you don't back yourself? Okay? Different mindset, thanks. Okay, Tim, question. How do you balance the advice that we often get to join lots of groups and interact a lot? It's so distracting and so time consuming. So that's just a little task within social media. So I'm asking you to think bigger here, Tim. In relation to that, that's a very specific question about networking in groups. It depends. On social media, just to have a little conversation around this, on social media, if you don't already have an audience and you don't have an influence over that audience, like your network is really small, then you need to put more time and effort into growing that audience. So if that requires networking in groups to build up your audience, to build relationships, to build a network, then yes, part of your DMO might be needing to do that, because we can't just turn up on social media and expect the people to come. Unless you've already got runs on the board, you're already successful, success breeds more success, influence breeds more influence. Unless that's the person that you are already, then you have to put in the hard yards. People like Gary Vee and Mel Robbins, they weren't born successful. They didn't turn up on social media one day and suddenly it all started happening for them. They've done all that networking. They've done all that hard yards. They've done all the things that people don't want to do years ago. We have to earn the right for people to follow us on social media. We have to earn the right for people to listen to us. We have to earn the right for people to put their hand in their pocket and buy something from us. So how hard have you worked for that? And in saying that, you don't have to be a slave to it, but in the beginning, you might have to work a little bit harder and put the real hard yards in to gain a little bit of influence, to grow your network, to be trustworthy, to have people look at you on social media and go, I like that person. I like what they have to say. I like what they're sharing. That's helpful to me. How helpful are you guys being to your audience? So, Tim, in relation to interacting and networking in groups, how big or how small is your current network? Maybe you have to get outside that current network, and you can do that organically and paid. Some people will do paid strategies and use Facebook advertising. Other people don't have the budget for that. So they'll do it organically. If you're doing it organically, you have to build up that network. You have to build up those relationships. If you're doing it organically on your personal profile, you need to friend request people. Don't just sit back and wait for people to friend request you. Don't just put content out there and expect people to gravitate to your content. You've got a network. You've got to build up the trust, the know, like, and trust. How often are you showing up? How helpful are you being? This is not just at you, Tim. This is, a broader message here. But you have to put that into perspective. The people that are really successful, if you like really, really successful, you're looking at Gary Vee and your Mel Robbins, they have put content out like machines. They've put super helpful, super valuable information out en masse. They've just worked out how to do smarter rather than harder. We all only have 24 hours a day. I've only got 24 hours. You've only got 24 hours a day. Gary Vee and Mel Robbins has only got 24 hours a day. So how come they're multiple millionaires and I'm not and you're not? They've just taken control of their time. They've taken more control. They're guarded with their time. They're guarded how they spend their time, and they're not afraid of investing in what they need to learn. They've worked out how to work smarter and not harder. They're batch recording content. They've got people to help them. They're not afraid of investing in people to help them. They're not afraid of investing in people teaching them things that they know. All of that comes into play. Okay. All right. So, final thoughts. What do you need to do to take more control of your day and your time? Do you need to get up 30 minutes earlier? Do you need to go for a walk? Do you need to exercise because you're not every day? Do you need to prep your food because you're not eating properly? Do you need to guard your time on social media more so? Do you need to, time block? So 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night is networking and building relationships and communicating with people on social media no matter what. No excuses. It's just what you do. It's the small things you do every single day that are going to get you to where you want to go. It's not all the large things. It's not the latest social media strategy. It's what you do when no one's watching. It is seriously what you do when no one's watching. That's how people lose weight. That's how people gain muscle. It's the daily things that they're doing every day when no one's watching. They do it regardless. It's not just how you show up, on social media, waiting for people to look at you. It's the prep work that you do behind the scenes. It's working on your branding. It's working on your content. It's working on your content calendar. It's showing up and doing the hard yards. It's taking control of your day. So I'm here to encourage you. You are listening to this video for a reason. Take more control of your day. Take more control of you. Look after your health. Look after yourself. Go and exercise. Make yourself feel good. When you feel good, your business will be good. Whatever message you can take from this, I just urge you to just put that little bit more effort into taking control of your day and your life. Because you can't control what happens out there. You can't control the people out there, but you can absolutely 100% control how you show up every day. So have a think about that. I hope you needed to hear this. I hope there's something that you can go and do today, tomorrow, or the next day that just gives you a little bit more control in your day so you can get to where you want to go with your goals. You can do it. You just need to be maybe a little bit more in control of how you spend your time every day. And you do not need to be a slave to social media. Don't be a victim to social media. Take more control of your social media. Okay? I hope that was helpful to you in some way. So those of you that are joining me for the branding course, we've got our first live Zoom call tomorrow. Those of you in the coaching community, don't miss my training in 2 days' time where I'm talking about the power of storytelling to make better content, better connections, and better engagement on social media. And the rest of you, I will see in 2 days' time.